see them all put together, when you see them in a montage or compiled one after the other, it really does help people break free from the mind control, because all of a sudden they realize these are professional photos on the covers of magazines, in music videos, where everything in there is put there deliberately, and you see the same things being done over and over, and we're supposed to believe these people are artistic and creative, and they're all doing the same thing, because the key to mind control is repetition. Now, we all know of the all-seeing eye, which is probably the most common symbol, right? I mean, we see them do the 666 over the eye. We see them cover the eye. I mean, you could find pretty much every single celebrity doing it on a magazine cover somewhere. And obviously this is representing the all-seeing eye, the Eye of Horus. Well, another symbol which doesn't get talked about a lot, but I mean, you can see it, but you might not see it all the time because you'll see it in passing, right? And that is the eye patch. This is another way that they show the all-seeing eye, but I want you to see how repetitive this is, because most of these people, I'd say 90%, are using their eye patch to cover their right eye, and then the other 10% are covering their left eye. Now, the covering of the right eye is straight mocking, obviously. Well, for starters, it's mocking the Bible, and it's mocking Matthew chapter 5, verse 29. If your right eye makes you stumble, tear it out and throw it from you, for it is better for you to lose one of the parts of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And also, of course, in this Egyptian garbage that they all follow and worship, that the Masons worship and follow. All this stuff all goes back to ancient Egypt. It goes back to Babylon. But the Eye of Horus was lost when he was battling Set. And that's why that is another reference to it. Now, let's start by looking at some of these people, and look how obvious this stuff is. This isn't just, a scene in a movie where a guy gets shot in his eye. These are people with perfectly fine right eyes or left eyes. And they're on the red carpet wearing an eye patch. They're in music videos wearing an eye patch, right? It's one thing if there's a movie and the guy gets shot in his eye and he's wearing an eye patch, or if you see somebody on the streets who, maybe lost his eye in war or who knows what, right? Okay, well, that's realistic, right? But look at this repetition of the eye patch. You see David Bowie, on more than one occasion, wearing the eye patch. Angelina Jolie, in one of her films. Now, Rihanna is constantly wearing an eye patch. You can see even one of the photos, she's doing the shh over her mouth, right? Remember the oath of silence, the vow of silence that they take in this brotherhood to keep all these things secret. So she's also wearing the eye patch and showing the one-eye symbolism. Okay, we see movies like with Samuel L. Jackson. Now, Madonna is somebody who wears the patch on the left eye a lot. On more than one occasion, you can find photos of her on magazine covers, inside of magazines, and in music video wearing it in the left eye. Now, I believe that this is because of the left-hand path. In magic, there's the left-hand path and the right-hand path, and the left-hand path is supposed to be black magic, right? They believe that there's good magic and bad magic. Now, I believe all magic is pretty much flamingly gay and embarrassing. So to me, white versus black magic, and of course you get your white and black symbols and the esoteric stuff, but it's all the same. There's nothing in the Bible that says there's good magic versus bad magic. All magic and all sorcery is wicked and evil, and it is condemned by God. We are not supposed to partake in that stuff. Now, black magic is the magic we're talking about blood sacrifice, we're talking about child sacrifice, we're talking about these rings with these children being abused in all sorts of ways, where they believe that they actually take the soul of these children during these disgusting sexual rituals that they perform. And I believe that's why you'll see the patch on the other eye, is that witches like Madonna, who are high-ranking witches in the occult, very high-ranking, and that's why she just won't go away. And all these younger musicians and stuff worship her. And we've seen the ceremonies and rituals she's done with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera at the VMAs and all that stuff, where she comes down in the Masonic stairwell and all that. So I believe this is her letting her fellow brother and sister know the black hand path, that that's what she's representing. You could even see Napoleon in a photo of Napoleon, where he's got that over his left eye. You can see some other celebrities, I'm not sure some of the names of these people, but you'll see Marilyn Manson wearing it over his left eye. You could see Will Ferrell and skits wearing it. And a bunch of people. I mean, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence with David Bowie's doing it multiple times. You know, some of these people, I don't I don't really know their names, but you can see Heidi Klum multiple occasions wearing this. She's some type of model, apparently, who doesn't age. And then, of course, you'll see on the red carpet trash like Lindsay Lohan wearing an eye patch. Nobody's going, why are they wearing an eye patch? No one's going, hey Lindsay, did something shoot into your eye? Were you wrestling and fell on nails or something and your eye is now sore? Did you get eye plastic surgery? I mean, what's the deal? Why would you be wearing an eye patch? Because people don't ask questions. They just think all this stuff is artsy and normal. Right? And all this stuff that comes in the name of art is all satanic and occultic. It's just a cover for them, just like science is a cover for them. So you see Lindsay Lohan with it. You see Lady Barfbag wearing one over her eye. So is this supposed to be all original? You see it all placed together. And you see what they're doing, what they're trying to say. You see Tom Cruise in movies. You see Bruce Wayne. Or not Bruce Wayne, John Wayne. Bruce Wayne would be Batman, but John Wayne doing it. You'll see it on the cover of many, many music videos and albums. Some of these people, Gabrielle, not sure if that's a relevant person, but hey, doesn't really matter. They're showing their allegiance, they're showing what they're about, and they're showing you one-eye symbolism in different ways. These are subliminal ways, right? We see the obvious ways where they just hold the 666 up over their eye, and it's just like, it's so obvious, especially when you see the montages where you see all of these people doing it. Right? They're just going to GQ, they're going to Vogue, and the photographer's like, let me think of a cool pose for you for the cover of Vogue this month. Hey, do the A-OK sign and put it over your eye. Oh boy, that sounds cool. And then they go, wait a minute, there's 100 other magazine covers with this same thing. But you know, the human brain doesn't process that. It's not going to remember, 2 months ago, Bono was doing it. 5 months ago, so-and-so was doing it. But when you see it all put together, like in these montages of the 666 over the eye, or the hand symbolism over the eye, it should start waking you up if you're not awake, and it should start helping wake other people up, right? Because if you understand that the key to this stuff is repetition, right? It's the basic form of mind control, and that's why we go to school for so long, right? That's why we learn nothing new in school. You go from first grade to fourth grade, what do you learn that's different? Oh, this year you're going to learn how to multiply bigger numbers. By the time you're a senior in high school, you're learning crap that no one ever needs to know, ever in their lives. You know, take the square root of this number, multiply it by the letter R, huh? And then, add 12 and put a pi on it at the end. What? Huh? Yeah, that's really going to help me learn how to pay my taxes and eat. Get you nowhere. It's just a waste of time. But remember all of the things that they do throughout schooling, right? The fake history of the world. They constantly beat it into your head. They don't tell you the real things behind any of these wars and who's really behind it. They tell you the narrative they want to tell you. And that's why it's so hard when these people break free, finally, and then they go where? To college. They break free from high school. They go to college for 4 more years, then they go get their master's for 4 more. They're 30 years old. Their brain's pretty much fully developed at that point. Beyond fully developed. And all they know is nothing but BS. That's their whole life is based off of BS and lies. So to go to them at 30 years old after 20 years, 25 years of schooling, and to be able to, you think you're going to be able to pull them away? These are people who are prideful. I have my master's degree. What do you have? Well, I got a degree, or I graduated high school, someone might say, or I graduated college. Oh, well, I have my master's, so I'm automatically smarter. So how would you think you know more than me? They don't want to hear that kind of stuff. And that's why you use repetition to condition people so much. So the symbols and stuff that we see all the time, they use repetition, but it's subliminal, right? They're not pointing out going, look at the eye patch, look at the eye patch. They're not pointing out going, look at the 666 sign, look at the pyramid, right? Look at the all-seeing eye, look at the black and white colors, the Masonic floor in almost every video, right? Which you can see in every Masonic lodge. Because people aren't thinking that way. They haven't trained our brains to think like that. They get us into an alpha state where they just throw us programming, And our mind is taking in all this information, but it's all useless information. It's all crap. It's all lies that are getting thrown into your head. So it makes it so difficult to pull people away. That's why I constantly show these symbols and I try to show, look, here it is in repetition. None of these people have a problem with their eye. None of them. None of these people are blind in the right eye. None of these people got something shot in their right eye. None of these people, are having vision problems and wearing an eye patch. There's a reason behind it. Now, if all these people came forward with doctor's notes, well, I still wouldn't believe them. But I mean, ask yourself what the reasoning would be. You're telling me they're making a fashion statement wearing eye patches on the red carpet? Lady Gaga and Lindsay Lohan and this other musician, I forget what her name is, who died. I think it's Aaliyah. That they're not showing you who they work for and who they're associated with? Just remember this stuff when you try to wake people up. Show them the consistencies in the repetition. Even start talking to them about schooling, right? Because I think pretty much everybody would say, well, yeah, we do just constantly learn the same crap. And then they give us a little bit of a little bit more, something a little bit different so it's not too suspicious, right? Oh, you're going to go from biology to chemistry. Great, let's dissect the frog today. That's really going to get me far in life. Hey everybody, we're going to dissect a frog. We're not going to try to turn you into some type of sociopath or somebody who would want to dissect humans or, maybe you'll go home and try to dissect your cat. This is perfectly normal because you're going to need to know what's on the inside of a frog in order to pay your property taxes or your rent when you're 18 years old and you're thrown out of your parents' house. I mean, give me a break, right? So constantly show them the repetition. This is the eye patch, which is something you'll see. It's a subliminal way for them to do one-eye symbolism without holding a hand over their eye. They can walk the red carpet doing it. They do it in their videos, and nobody says boo. But it's just more of the same crap. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.